They made their way to the compound and the first building on the south side. The compound was small, perhaps 100 yards across. It was completely overgrown with vegetation, and the buildings themselves were much like the rest of the abandoned cities of Mesos. Weathered stone walls and fractured structures. They stealthily made their way around the compound using the perimeter structures as cover. Rivet's antenna was now constantly up and scanning. Daeson watched the android closely as they approached the building that would give access to the underground bunker. Still no sign. They were now at the entry door. An access panel was positioned just to the left of the door. Daeson noticed the absence of any dust on the keypad, as well as the soft hue of the panel's display. This made him nervous, for it meant that it had been maintained and accessed recently. He turned his back to the panel and began scanning the surrounding woods and buildings. "See what you can do, Rivet, and hurry." Rivet went to the panel, tapped a dozen keys, and then set his index finger near a small recess. A gold-plated key extended outward from his finger about 1 inch and into the panel's recess. Daeson waited an eternity of 3 seconds for the door to open, but it didn't. Instead, Rivet retracted the key into his finger, stood straight, and turned about to face Daeson. Something was different. Something was wrong. "What is it, Rivet?" Daeson asked, eager to know what had happened to the bot. "What's wrong?" Before Rivet could respond, 4 circular sections of dirt quickly rose up out of the ground just 15 feet away, revealing 4 fully armed AI bots, with their weapons pointed right at Daeson. Daeson lifted his plasma rifle, knowing he would get 1 or 2 shots off at best before he was killed, but at least he would die fighting. Before he could squeeze the trigger, the rifle was dislodged from his hand and he was lying face down on the ground, having been struck from behind. It happened so fast and so unexpectedly that he dared not consider the truth. He rolled, reaching for his talon, but as he did so, Rivet leveled his rifle at him. "That is not wise. If you attempt to fight, you will be killed," Rivet said in the cold voice of an AI android. Daeson looked up at the android, stunned, furious. All of his suppressed misgivings about the android ripened to a gut-wrenching bitter truth. He took in the cold, hard stare of the inconceivably deceptive and crafty bot. "You," Daeson said. "Well done, RI-6482, one of the other androids said as it stepped forward near to Daeson's head. "We will use this human to evaluate our weapon. What are the coordinates of the spacecraft that brought you here?" Rivet bent down and picked up Daeson's plasma rifle, ensuring he would not be able to reach it. "The coordinates are 48.6425 north, 78.3086 west. The lead android turned to the other 3 bots. "RI-5221 and 3784, locate and secure the craft." The 2 androids immediately turned and began moving in the direction from which Daeson and Rivet had come. In just a few seconds, they had disappeared into the forest. Daeson could hardly contain himself or think straight as the brutal betrayal he felt overwhelmed his thoughts. It was as if one of his closest friends had stabbed him clean through with a talon knife. "Break the human's legs so it does not try to escape," the lead android said. "We do not need it mobile to conduct our test." "Acknowledged," Rivet said as he glared down at Daeson. The 3rd android knelt down to hold Daeson's shoulders as Rivet lifted one of his legs to crush Daeson's. Daeson tried to roll away, but the android had pinned him firmly to the ground. He braced for the bone-crushing force of Rivet's powerful blow. The android's foot exploded downward and smashed into the